So I'll be able to send it to you when the webinar is over, so you don't need to take any notes. I hope you have either laptops or iPads, so you can try some of the things that I'll show you. If you have any questions, then please write them in the chat, because for some reason, I don't know why I can't see you. So ask me any questions in the chat, or if you want me to stop, if I'm going too fast, also ask me in the chat. And what I'll do is go ahead and share my screen with you. And I understand you are all pro by now. I'll show you a few games, an overall of the app, of JITAP, and then how to create a class, and how to assign games to students. And if there's anything that you want me to, any point that you want me to stop and try by yourselves, then let me know. And I know that Debbie really wanted some examples of how to use it for Hebrew reading. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. So first of all, I'll share my screen now. You can see this is the website. This is the JITAP website. It's not Jewish Interactive's website, which I'll show you in a minute. I'll just say one word about myself. My name is Anat Goodman. I am an educator, been an educator for the past 20 years, and a teacher trainer for the past 10 years. I teach teachers on how to utilize technology in their classrooms. I have my master's in educational technology, and I am very happy to be with you today. My first webinar with Australia. We are really, really excited. So I'll go ahead and show you the website. This is the website. This is the homepage. The homepage. Okay, I have one more person. 1 second. You see that. Okay, this is the website. No, this is the Jewish Interactive. This is the JITAP website. It changes all the time, the homepage. We have courses at the top. You see, I am not logged in at the moment. So if you are not logged in, what you see is what everybody else sees. You see the different courses and the different content rows. We put here on the homepage different games we think are amazing, and we want to share them with everybody. If your teachers and your team would create great games, they would also be here. If they're not here, the easiest way to find games would just to type here in the search bar. You can type in any keyword, Purim, Pesach, Hebrew reading, and games would come up. So you can just look for games here, and you can always do see all and see more games on the homepage. And this would be an easy way to find games quickly on the homepage. We make it very easy. All the Purim games are straight ahead in front of you. Soon Pesach will be there, and you can see the different games. We have a whole section for Hebrew reading, which you can tap here to see all as well and see the different games. And I want to show you what happens when I log in to the website. I'm going to log in now with my username. So now, and this would be the same case also for your users, for the students. As soon as I log in, it changes, and it's now a website that is personalized for my login. You can see here that I have the games that were assigned to me on top, and the games that I recently played on top. Even if I recently played them on my iPad, they would be here on the desktop, and games from people who I follow. So it's very important to log into the website when you go onto the website, because it's a different website. It's personalized according to what you want to play and according to what you're looking for. Okay, so assuming you're all pro users and you now want to you know what, before that, going to stop share now and show you my, and share my iPad and show you a few games, then how to create them. Share screen. One second. Okay, so this is my iPad. I hope you can see it now. And again, it opens up on my home page. As soon as I tap on a game, it would download into my iPad. And when it downloads into the iPad, you don't even need Wi-Fi after to play the game. And if I'll go into my play area, which is at the bottom menu right here, I'll see all the games that I downloaded. So if I downloaded a game and I think, okay, I don't really need it, I'm going to tap here on the pencil and delete the game from my, can delete this one, for example. I can delete the game from my shelves. If I want to prepare a game, like I wanted to show you today, these 3 games, I simply just tap, hold, and drag it to the top shelf. So you can prepare games in advance if you want on your iPads. When the game is ready, when you start creating a game, it would also wait for you here on the shelves. Like at the moment, I am creating a game, so it's waiting here on the shelf. When I'm ready to upload it, I'm going to tap here. Wait, this is hiding. I'm going to tap here on the upload button and then choose my game to upload. This is how I would upload the game. So let's have a look at some games. One second. Okay, so Hebrew reading games. There are a few examples. I'll show you, for example, this one for Purim.
הדמויות במגילה.
So she started with a soundboard. If you want to see how a game is created and copy the way it was created, you just tap here on the 3 lines, and this is what happens. It opens up all the slides. You can go through all the slides and see at the bottom what it says. So this one was the say something function. And this one is a shape puzzle. So you can see how a game is how a game was created. And also here you have the pencil. So now if you want to take her game and change it, you would tap on the pencil and you would reach this editing area. Now you can change the game. I'll show you in a second how we change the game, but first let me play this game for you because it has reading in it.
הדמויות במגילה.
So this is a teacher from Detroit. They're also new users of JITAP. You just,
מרדכי.
this is a soundboard.
אסתר.
And then you go to the next page and you have a small text.
המלך אחשוורוש. הארמון שלי בארץ פרס בעיר שושן. יש לי בגדים של מלך. יש לי כתר של מלך. יש לי כיסא של מלך. השלם את המשפטים עם המילים המוארות.
Okay, so now the kids have to drag the words to the correct place and they have to read them in order to do that. So they would see מלך, they would drag it here. הארמון שלי.
בגדים, בגדים, כתר, כיסא.
So this is a simple activity. You can make it in a higher level, of course, and now there is a different text with the Amalka Esther and a different text with the Mordechai and with Haman HaRasha. So you can take something like that and either read it out by yourselves, and children can practice again and again by listening, and then children can create a game like that and read it out by themselves and actually use the language and read it out in Hebrew and practice reading Hebrew. And I'm going to show you now how to edit a game. I'm going to tap here on the pencil. you'll notice that not all games have this pencil option available. We really encourage teachers to keep their games open for editing, and most of the teachers do that. It's like sharing any other resource that you create and you share. If you do a beautiful worksheet and you share it with teachers, a lot of teachers enjoy doing that and enjoy other teachers' resources, but some teachers, you know, they want to keep it only to themselves. So if you don't see the pencil, it's because they didn't leave it open for editing. We make sure that our games are open for editing, and we really encourage everybody to keep it open. It doesn't change the original game. The original game stays exactly the same. I will not be able to upload this edited game to the cloud, but I will be able to assign the edited game to my class. So I'm going to tap here on the pencil, and now where she says, for example, I'm going to tap here for the introduction and see what she says.
הדמויות במגילה.
So now I can talk in English if I want to. If I had an Australian accent, I would do that. Hi, these are the different characters from Megillat Esther. Tap and listen. Done. And the game would now sound like that. Hi, these are the different characters from Megillat Esther. Tap and listen. Okay, so the game is now different. If I'll tap here on the upload sign, it gives me the option to assign it on JITAP, okay? And then I'm able to assign it in the edited version to my different groups. My groups would be here, and I can choose any of my groups or assign it to specific children. I can do that straight from here. Let's look at another game. Very simple, was created, I think, yesterday, just to differentiate shin and sin.
This is sin. Sin. Can you say sin? Oh no, sin got lost. Can you find sin? Ah, shin and sin both wandered off, and they're hiding. Can you find shin?
Okay, so it's a very simple game, but it's very practical and very useful. It's just to differentiate shin and sin. And here they're on the table also. You can see them.
I'm so hungry. Can you find sin?
I think after a short practice with a game like that, the children would be able to differentiate shin and sin, and you can do it for pei and fei, you can do it for kaf and chaf, and for other games. I'll show you another reading game for from a school
Tap
here
on each word
in
to hear them
Manchester.
being read, and then test yourself on the next page. Make sure you can read each word clearly before you move on.
Okay, so this is it's a soundboard again.
Hinani. His Hanani.
So let's say you don't like that accent and you want to actually read it in different Sephardi, for example, or Ashkenaz. So you can edit the game. Oh, you see, for example, this teacher didn't leave it open for editing. So the other thing you can do is, okay, you get the idea and now you can create one by yourself for your children. So he created, he took a text, he put in the directions, and all they do is they just tap on words.
Sai.
And then there is a small quiz.
Listen to the word being read, then tap on the matching word. Tap anywhere to begin. His Palelu. Correct. Vermagale.
Okay, so this is a drill. It's very straightforward, very simple. This teacher created an entire course of reading all the words the children need to word in the curriculum in this school. Let me show you one more game for sentences. This one I think is brilliant.
Let's help David to chant Ashrei. Click on the blue circle at the end of each page and help David to collect a prize. Let's get started. שלום, אני דוד. עזרו לי בבקשה לקרוא את האשרי ולאסוף פרסים.
Read each word first and only after you can listen to the word. When you finish reading the line, you can click play to listen to the whole line.
Okay, so she teaches the Ashrei. If you touch here on the play, she would just sing the entire sentence. So if it hadn't been a pray, you could just tap there to listen to somebody read the entire sentence or each word separately.
אשרי ביתך, סלע.
And once the kids finish the entire page and they tap here on next, they get a prize, or the boy gets a prize.
לחץ על הפרס. איזה יופי, קיבלתי גביע.
And then it goes to another page. And if you're wondering how she did that, you know that in the soundboard, when you create a soundboard, you have an option. Let me go. You see she left it open for editing. I'm going to tap here on the pencil and show you what she did. She created these prize pages in her game. And then, for example, let's go to the first one right here, the first text. I'll tap it. On each soundboard that she created, she said something, and from that piece here where it says next, she had the option jump to page. So when you click on jump to page, it tells you, okay, which page do you want to jump to? So this is how she created a prize for whenever they complete a sentence. By using the jump to page option, and this option exists in two activities, in the soundboard and in the say something activity. So one very last game that I'll show you, and then I'll show you how to create games, is this game by a 6.5 years old.
Shalom, זאת המשפחה שלי.
Okay, so he drew his family and he made a game all by himself, teaching about his family members. It was very personal for him, and he didn't think about all the learning that went into it.
זה אני יהודה. זו רותם.
So it's not just אח, אחות, אבא, אמא, it's זה אני, זאת אחות, זה אבא שלי. It's a more complex sentences, but he was so excited and thrilled to be creating a game that he just used really correct and proper, he made sure there are correct and proper sentences, as the teacher explained, and now the game is out there. His friends play it, his family plays it, and he's really excited.
איפה רותם?
And this is a question.
כל הכבוד. איפה אחותי תימרה?
איפה אחותי תימרה? It's a very complex sentence. Okay, so this was the last game. And now I'll show you how to create a game very quickly. I'm going to tap here on create. Before I continue, I just want you to, you know how I can see the chat? 1 second. Okay. 1 second, I'm going to stop the sharing and see, all right. How do you log on to iPad? There is no login. Are we allowed to change people's names? Yes, you are allowed to change people's names. Will you show us how to assign? Yes, okay. So I'll do what you asked first, and then I'll show you how to create a game. So first of all, to log into to an iPad, I'll share my screen again. Share screen. Okay. If this is
Hi, these are the different characters for Megillat Esther. Tap and listen.
Okay, let's say I open my GI tab, and this is my iPad app. If you see here where it says profile, I'm going to tap now. I'm logged in as me. So I'm going to log out to show you how to log in. If you need to log out, by the way, you scroll all the way to the bottom. You need to go through all your activities and log out. Okay, now I'm logged out and you see this profile is green. So I'm going to log in. If you never created a username, the first thing you'll do is tap here on join and then create your first username. First name, last name, very simple, teacher, and use either female or male, your birthday, and you tap on join. Now, if you are a student and I have a sub account that my teacher created for me, it's very simple. I'm just gonna tap here the username that the teacher gave me and the password that the teacher gave me. I don't need an email and I don't need anything. I'll show you how to create a user. And if you are joining as yourselves, you will just put in your email address. So for example, I'll put my email address. Okay. Stop sharing for a second. And this is how you join in. And I'm going to show you now on a desktop how to create a group and how to assign a game and where would the children see those games. So in order to create a group and to assign a game, you need to be on a desktop or a laptop, not on your iPad. And if this is my desktop that I hope you can all see now, you must be logged in, of course. And then you go into your dashboard. So you tap here on dashboard. And you get this, you get your dashboard and you can create a group very, very easily just by typing here, let's say my group is March 1, institution webinar. You can decide whatever you want, create. This is my new group that I'm doing. So that's the name of my group. First name would be Debbie. Last name would be, let's do grade 1, Debbie grade 1, and the password, I'm going to change it. The password could either be Debbie's last name, for example, if she's my student, because students never forget their last names, or it can be something very easy, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to choose female or male when I create a user. And I'm just going to tap here on create. So I have Debbie, grade 1, and she's one user that I have. Let's do one more. Let's do Liat, also grade 1. Liat, grade 1, and I'm also going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's also a female. Create. Notice that it's not safe to use children's family names. So either their last name should be their class or the name of the group or any other thing. So they just log in with the first name. And once you choose a first name and a last name, it generates the username for you. I'll show you one last example. Let's say I have Alon. You see, it creates the username for me already, Alon. Grade 1, and again I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 male create. So I have 3 sub users under the group which I just created. It took me exactly a second under the group that is called March 1. Now you are a pro school and you have up to 1,000 different sub-users. Each one of the teachers has up to 1,000 sub-users. Whenever you create somebody new, it will tell you here to unlock data because it allows you 1,000. So it would always, when you tap on unlock data, it will take you to all the users that you have. I have many users because I've been using it with a lot of sub-users. And you just need to mark all your users. You can just do simply select all and update. And you'll see here, it tells me you have used 41 out of your 1,000 sub-users of your pro account. I'm just gonna click your update. So now all my users, I can see all the data and everything that they do. And that's it. So these are my insights, and these are the group insights. I'm gonna go back again to the home, so you'll see what it looks like. Let's say I created a group. I'm going to school, and now I want to go back to my group. I'll tap here on my dashboard, and all my groups are here. So this is the group which I just created a second ago. It's called March 1. If I'll tap that group, I can see that I have 3 members. These 3 members, if I'll tap on assignments, I can now look for an assignment to give those children. So let's say, I'll look for a Ashrei, I don't know, something would come up. Search, Ashrei, okay. So I want to give this game for the entire group. I can change the deadline here if I want to. Let's say I'm gonna give them 1 day only to do it. And please complete by tomorrow. And I can, you know, write whatever I want and assign. So the 3 members in the group which I created are now have 1 game assigned to them. I can go back to the members, and let's say that Debbie is extra motivated and she needs more work than everybody else, and I really feel I should encourage her. I can tap on Debbie only, and only for Debbie, look for another game. Colors, let's say, search. Okay, I'm going to give you the Hebrew Pictionary colors. Again, I can write, hi Debbie, I know you like, and say whatever I want, and assign. A game for Debbie only. So this is an amazing way to differentiate, because some children are very motivated and they can learn more and they want to learn more, and some children, they need actually a lower level type of activities because they find it really hard. So you can really use this method to differentiate between students, and they each learn separately. They each learn exactly according to their needs. So now let's see what happens if Debbie wants to, if Debbie goes home and she wants to join. So I'm going to go back now. Let's say Debbie now went home and she wants to join and see what was assigned to her. I'm going to log out of here. And this is what Debbie sees when she goes into jitap.net. And I'm going to log in as Debbie, okay? So her username was Debbie grade 1. And the password was 123456, log in. Okay, so this is what Debbie sees. In her face immediately, she sees the 2 games that the teachers assigned to her. And she can go in from any computer. I think everybody has a computer at home. She doesn't need an iPad to play the games. And she sees them immediately. On the screen, as soon as she goes into the website, you'll see the games that were assigned to her. So let's tap the game and play the game for a second.
Hi everybody, my name is Yali and I live in London. Are you ready to learn 10 colors in Hebrew with me? Let's go! Tap the colors and listen. Kahol, Sagol, Zahov.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next page.
Now let's see if you remember. Tap me to begin. Okay, let's do it. Can you find Zahov? Please find Yahov. Can you find Hum? Now let's find Adom.
I'm going to make some
Now
mistakes.
Now let's help me find Katum.
Okay.
Can you find Kah? You did it. You're amazing. You know 10 colors in Hebrew.
Okay, so this is my grade 53. I didn't do very well. I'm going to go back home. And I'm going to stop sharing with you a second my desktop, and I'll share my iPad with you. So share screen, 1 second. Share screen. Hi, these are the different characters from Megillat Esther. Tap and listen. All right, so this is my iPad, and let's say that this is Debbie's iPad, whether in the school or at home or anywhere Debbie is. She is going to tap here on profile, and she's going to enter Debbie Nekuda grade 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Log in. And it says, hi, Debbie. And in order for her to find her games on the iPad, she would go here into the feed. And in the feed area, she will see that Anat has signed the game for her and said, please complete by tomorrow. And I assigned this game for her as well. And I said, hi, Debbie. So this is how you assign a game. I'm just going to show you quickly what happens. I'm going to just play 2 things and show you what happens when I play them.
Hi, everybody. My name is Yali, and I live in London.
By the way,
are you ready to learn 10 colors in Hebrew with me? Let's go!
If there is music on your
Colors
game and you want to stop it, you tap here. Okay.
Sagol, Katum, Zahov.
All right.
Now let's see if you remember. Tap me to begin. Okay, let's do it. Can you find Zahov? Please find Yehov. Can you find whom? Can you find? You did it. You're amazing. You know 10 colors in Hebrew.
Okay, this time I got only 23%. And I'm going to stop share now and see if you have any questions. Okay, will you show us how to assign? I hope I did. Can we print any of the games? How can we see what the children have done? The work. Okay, so this is the great thing. When you assign games, or when your users create games, what happens is, I'm going to share screen again. And I'm going to log out and log me as the teacher who assigned the games. Okay, I'll go into my dashboard at home and tap on my group, March 1, and the assignments that I gave them. Okay, so I just did it like a second ago. You don't see that somebody created or did anything, but you would be able to tap here on the assignment and see exactly how everybody did and how much they scored. I'll show you an example, which I have here. Okay, so if you tap on a game, you would see your different players, the date that they played, how much they scored. So if Debbie did miserably and she scored only, I don't know, 23% and 10%, you would see it. You would see if they played on an iPad or on a web browser. And you'll see here, according to the colors, it changes to red if it's very low. So you see the 2 children didn't manage to answer this question, and 1 child didn't manage to answer this question. And you can see exactly what was difficult for them for every step of the way. This is how you would see the data of different children. And if you would tap here on members again, and you would go into Debbie, Oh, you see, it shows you already. Okay, so I went into Debbie and I see that she played the Hebrew Pictionary colors and she scored 53%. She spent 56 seconds only. Maybe I should tell her, listen, it's not enough. You need to try again and play twice. And the play date and everything. So let's tap here on the game. Okay, wonderful. So I can see here, Debbie played exactly the time. Device was on the web. She scored 53. And now if I tap here, I can see it. I can see in which question she didn't manage to answer. I can get a report by downloading here. And if two people would have played my assignments, I would see it. I'm going to tap here on members. And if somebody from my group would create a game, I would also see it. It would show up next to their name that they created a game. So this is how you get data of children. So how would you print a game? These games are not really meant for printing because they are interactive. You create a layer and they're interactive. What you can do if you want to is print screens from your game. So for example, if you, I'm going to share my iPad again, 1 second. Hi, these are the different characters from Megillat Esther. Tap and listen. 1 second, share screen. Okay, so when you create a game, for example, let's say all these packs, they come up automatically. I'm sure you've seen them, and they change and they update all the time. For example, for the family collection, we now added a lot of inclusive characters. So we have, for example, this character, which I've already seen an amazing game created with this character, a new kid in town, Adam. So let's say I'm going to take this blind boy and another girl here, and you have, I don't know, children with the glasses. Everybody can relate to the collection because it really reflects the entire community. So you can, let's say, write something, חברים. I'm going to write חברים, and put it here. And if I want to print this screen, for example, if I tap here on that icon, this image is now saved in my photo roll. I'm going to tap continue drawing. And if I'll go now into my photo roll, this screen is saved. So I can now easily print it just as a photo, like I would print any photo. But I think the real purpose of
Hi, these are the different characters for Megillat Esther. Tap and listen.
I don't know why this game keeps on playing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. I'm going to Megillat Esther, delete, okay. So this is how you would print a game. I'm going to stop sharing to see if you wrote something. Do you want me to show you how to actually create a game, or do you know how to create a game? Yes, please. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again, my iPad. 1 second. I think this is the most exciting part. And before I'll show you, I just want to tell you that on the home page, the first thing that you'll see is the JITEP courses. One of them are different tutorials on everything that I'll show you now. So if you tap here on this course, you'll get different tutorials on how to create a game, how to create your first user profile, which I showed you previously. Learn to create, ask a question. So you can just look, each one is like 2 minutes. You can have a look at them and you can refer back to them if you don't remember. Also, I'm going to stop share again and share my desktop. Also on YouTube, if you just type in Jewish Interactive and you go into Jewish Interactive, you have testimonials and you have all the tutorials and all the webinars that we upload to YouTube. And also this webinar would be up on YouTube, and I'll send you a link. So you can go here and watch again and learn again. So, and of course we can always have another webinar, or we can have somebody come into your school. Liat would be there in the summer, and she can come back and show you face to face exactly everything that I was showing you. Or who knows, maybe I'll take a trip to Australia. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create a game. Share screen. Okay. All right, so in order to create a game, I'm going to tap here on create. And the first thing that comes up are all these collections, the creation packs. If they disappear, if I tap here in the middle with my finger, they go away. If I want to bring them back, I'm going to tap here on the smiley face, and all the creation packs come up. So for example, there are different templates for teachers. You just need to take a few good, I wouldn't even say minutes, at least an hour to go through the different options that you have. And as I said, they keep on updating. And we have different backgrounds. And if there is something that you want, for example, this one, we have a teacher wanted a background to teach grammar, hu vehi. So this is a background. I can go now and take another background or a template. And I'll go into, you have here in different colors also. Let's take this one, okay? The colors, which is very easy to show how to create a game. Let's say this is all I want. You can also take Adom. You have words if you want to, Yarok. Okay, if you see that, okay, once this is here, I am not able to move anything on my screen. So I have to tap in the middle and make this, and make the creation pack go away. And now I can start organizing my screen. I can put the Adom here, the Yarok here, and organize my screen. If I'll tap here on the A, three things I can do. Number one, I can just type in by myself whatever I want, למשל חום. If I double tap on the word חום, I can now change the color of it if I want to. I can change the color, the font, everything like in Word, okay? I'm going to, make the חום actually חום. Okay, I'm going to put the xum here. And another thing that I can do in the text is tap here on Safaria, and I have the entire Tanakh, and we are going to have the Haggadah very soon before Pesach. I have the entire Tanakh at the moment in Hebrew or in English, so if I'll tap here to go to Hebrew, I can go, for example, to Ktuvim, and go to Esther, Perek Aleph, take my pasuk that I want, tap the V, and it's in my game. So I can put it here. If I want to edit my Tanakh text, I'm just going to double tap it. I can take a word, delete the word, put a line instead of the word if I want to, or do whatever I want. And this is with the text. Another third option that I have is if I have, for example, already a text created with the Nikud and everything on a Google Docs, I can copy with my finger from the Google Docs app and just tap here and type paste. So I would have the Nikud in advance. This is an option that you have, which I can elaborate on later if you need. If you don't want something on your screen, again, you just chuck it away. I'm going to chuck this text away. If you tap here on the magnifying glass, you can bring in farm, clip art, flipus. You can bring in anything from the internet. You just tap it and it goes into your game. And you have the option of transparent without a background or animated, which you can use. So let's say I want this farm as well. So you can bring in anything from the internet. And if you tap here on the camera, you can take a photo of somebody's drawing or anything that, that you have in the class that you want to create a game with, just by using the camera. Or if you tap on albums, anything in your photo roll you can bring in. So if I have this image that I did before, I can bring it in. When you double tap on an image, you have the option to make it into a background, to remove the white, to flip, to duplicate, to delete, move it to the back, different options that you have. So, you know what? I'm going to show you again with this. I'm going to make this into a background. חברים, ירוק I don't need, אדום I don't need. Okay, one last option that you have is actually tap here on the little brush and write by yourself, or let the children create and draw something. They can draw a beautiful Tu B'Shvat, I don't know, trees, flowers, family day. They can use it to draw and turn that into a game. So let me show you, for example, what I mean. Let's say I have a tree here that I drew. Okay. Very simple. I created a screen. The first stage is to create your screen, what you want your game to look like, and then you add an interactive layer. So I'm going to tap here on the Add Activity. Next. And now I have all these options to create a game. So let's do a very simple one. Ask a question. It tells you, okay, record a question. What do you want to ask? For example, where is the farm? Okay, now it tells me mark the answer. So this is the farm. I'm going to mark it with my finger. Okay, and I need to tap V. If this is the answer, I'm going to tap V, and I have one question. This is my one question. I'm going to add one more. Can you see the tree? Okay, I'm going to mark the tree as my answer and tap V. Okay, so I have two questions. If I tap them, if I tap with my finger on the questions, I can now re-record my question if I don't like it. I'm going to listen here and see if it's okay, or if I want to change, I'll tap on the record again. And I have the option to give positive feedback and negative feedback. For example, I can say, great work, you found the farm. I don't have to, but I can do it. And notice it's now white. This one is gray because I didn't record anything. And what happens if they don't tap on the correct answer? I'm going to say, uh-oh, try again. Done. Okay, so I have two questions. For one of them, I gave feedback. For the other, I didn't. If I want to edit my questions or delete them, I'm just going to tap on the edit and delete my questions. Let's say I'm happy. I'm going to tap on done. And to see what my game looks like, I'm going to tap here on play.
Where is the farm? Uh-oh, try again.
I tapped on the wrong place.
Where is the farm?
Now I'm going to tap on the right place.
Great work, you found the farm. Can you see the tree?
And now it tells me exactly how I scored. So I'm going to tap here on the pencil to continue editing. And this is my editing screen. And where it says add photo, it means actually add the second stage, the next stage of your game. So let's take something to create a soundboard, for example. I'll take this screen, which is very simple. I'm going to tap on add activity, next. and create a soundboard. The soundboard is a wonderful way to introduce something new because there is no failure, there is no right or wrong. They just tap and listen to whatever you want them to listen to. It can be the characters in the Megillah, it can be characters in Parashat Bereshit, it can be vocabulary items, it can be anything you want. So when you create a soundboard, when you tap on soundboard, it tells you mark the places where you want the children to tap. I'm going with my finger to go around, let's say the red, okay, and tap on the plus, and say whatever I want. I can say Adom. Another option that I have here, besides saying the Adom, I can also write Adom if I want to. Adom. So they see Adom, they hear Adom, and they see the word as well. So let's do one more. You know what? I'm not going to do. I want to delete this one. I'm going to tap here on the pencil and delete it. Delete, okay. I'm going to mark 2 together, tap on the plus, and I'm not going to say a color. I'm going to say, what color is the sky? Okay. And I mark these 2 because both of them are a good option. When you create a soundboard, you have this gear. In some of the activities, you have this gear, which means that you can give introduction and you can change and differentiate. I'm going to tap it and record my intro. Tap on the different colors and learn how to say them in Hebrew. Okay. Done. Okay, if I want this screen, for example, to be first, I'm just going to tap, hold, and drag it to be first with my finger. And I'm going to tap here on the play to see what my games look like. Tap on the different colors and learn how to say them in Hebrew. What color is the sky? I actually should have said blue because this is a soundboard. Adom. Adom. Okay, so here I see Adom, I hear Adom, and I also added the text for Adom. I want to continue editing. I don't want to go to the next stage, so I'm going to tap here on the 3 lines and on my pencil and continue editing. So let's see a different option. I'm going to go here. Let's take from Purim. take מסכה, קוסם, מלך. Okay. So I'm going to now show you how to create a matching game. In order to create a matching game, my screen has to be the correct answer. So I have 3 images and I want to write מסכה. Let's say I'm going to put it here, מסכה, קוסם, and melech. Okay, so my screen is the correct answer. Also gonna go and get a nice frame. And I'm going to tap here on Add Activity, Next. And I'm going to create a shape puzzle. A shape puzzle is the way to do a matching game because it allows you to remove shapes. So I'm going to cut this shape by tapping on the plus. Okay, if I double tap it, it's going to create exactly the same shape for me. So I'm going to double tap this shape with my finger and tap the plus. And again, I'm going to double tap the shape with my finger because I want the shapes to be exactly the same. I want the kids to know according to reading and not according to the size of the shape. And now I have an option to just put them at the top if I want to, just like that. It's going to, I'll show you this option, done. Oh, wait, I'm going to give an introduction. I have this here, and I'm going to say, drag the pieces to the correct place. And here you can choose if you want to give hints or don't want to give hints. If you give hints, they'll see the answer for a second. Done. I'm going to drag it to be first and tap play.
Drag the pieces to the correct place.
Should have said drag the words. They don't actually see it's a piece. You have to really think about, you know, the user experience. It would now go to the next stage, and if I want to, what I can do is not put them on top. I can, for example, put the Masecha here, and the Melech here, and the Kosem here. And another option that I have, if I want to, if I'll tap on the pencil, I can also say the word. So if a child doesn't know how to read, or if a child is in a lower level, this would help him. For example, I can tap here and say, Masecha, Kosem, Melech. Okay, and I'm going to change my introduction, for example, and say the words got mixed up. Drag them to the correct place. And let's see what that looks like. It's a different option.
The words got mixed up. Drag them to the correct place. Masecha. Melech. Kosem.
Okay, so this was the matching game. If I'll tap here on the pencil, I'm back in my editing. I'm back in my editing board. I can tap here on the music and add music to my games if you want to. And the children can stop the music. If you have a class full of iPads, you don't want everybody to have music on. But if you would want to, you just bring in this purple cassette to the music that you want to choose. You can listen to it here. And if you're happy, you tap here on done, and there is music in your game. Let's see what it sounds like.
The words got mixed up. Drag them to the correct place.
If I want to stop the music, I'm going to tap here. Okay, so let's say this is my game and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to tap here and give it a name. And the name would be March 1st, Anat. Okay, and now I want to upload it to my to the cloud. I'm going to tap here on the upload. I need to choose a category. For example, let's say this is Hebrew, vocabulary. I can choose up to 3 categories, and it's also Jewish holidays, Purim. The more I specify, the easier it is for other educators to find my games. Age, I can choose, let's say, I don't know, all ages or 3 to 5. English, just English, no, English Australia, and I'm going to save game. Here you choose if you want to keep your game open for editing or not open for editing. So if it's like that, other teachers cannot use my games and by modifying them. They can only use them as is. And if I keep it open, I'm really allowing other teachers to benefit my amazing games. Like you like some games, but they're not exactly what you need, so you can change them. And I'm going to tap on Save Game. It wants me to write a description. Let's say webinar March 1 and Save Game. Okay, so now my game is going to go into the JITAP cloud. And as soon as it's there, it's very easy for me. Actually, the game the game was created when I was logged in as Debbie. Okay, the game was created as I was logged in as Debbie, not as myself. So now if you would go into the Discover on your iPads, if you would go into the Discover and in the search, you would look here for March, the game would come up immediately. And also I'm going to stop share and share my desktop again. Also here, let's say I'm on the website. If in the search bar I would look for March, my game would be here and I can now play my game. And I want to see, hold on, I'll go into the dashboard, into March, into Debbie. Activity created. Okay, so you can see, because I accidentally created the activity with you logged in as this username, if I go into Debbie, I have the activity created by her, so I can see what she actually created, which is amazing. So this is something, you know, that they can create a game at home and you'll be able to see it as teachers. Okay, can you create on an iPad? Yes, only create on an iPad at the moment. We are working really hard to make this option available on Android as well, but at the moment it's only on iPad. You can play on any device. Once my game is made, can I still edit it after it's uploaded? Absolutely, yes. I'm going to show you how. So my game, I'll share my screen a second again. Can you just tell me how long, I'm not in a rush, but how longer can you stay? "30 minutes? Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again and show you, share screen. Okay, so I created this game. Let's say I'm not really happy about it, or I want to change or add or whatever. It will be here in the play area waiting for me on the shelf. And this is the game that I created, March 1. I'm going to tap on the pencil, okay? And the pencil here to continue editing my game. Let's say I want to now add something for my game. Let's take some verbs. Shota, shote, shota, shote. Okay. I'm going to teach now verbs if I want to. If I double tap, by the way, on any image, I can flip it. So if I want them to look at each other, that's what I'll do. I'll make them slightly longer. Okay. And I'm going to tap here now on Add Activity. Next. We did ask a question. We did the soundboard. Cut a shape puzzle was the matching game. Let's do talk or type. Talk or type. Okay, it tells you to mark the place where you want the children to type. So let's say I want them to type in the word shota and shote. So I'm going to mark a space here and tap plus. And I have to write the answer. Shota. Without nikud, of course, because they won't be able themselves to type in with nikud. And whatever you type in, that's what they need to type. And you choose here if you want them to type it or say it, okay? So I'm going to choose a type, shota. And I can also record what I want. For example, please copy the word and type in the correct letters to say shota. Okay, and I'll mark one more. Wait, it's too big. שותה. And now I'm going to actually choose the other one, say it. Please say the word that you read. שותה, okay? And here in the introduction, I'm going to say, tap the blank spaces and listen to the instructions. Done. Done. I'm going to tap on done. I'm going to tap, hold, and drag it to be first in line because I want to see it first when I tap here on the play. And this is what it looks like.
Tap the blank spaces and listen to the instructions.
So here,
please copy the word and type in the correct letters to say שותה. Please say the word that you read.
שותה. So this function of asking the children to say the answer is incredible, but it's very tricky because first of all, it only works on an iPad. Second of all, it works with Siri, so you have to make Siri speak Hebrew on the iPad if that's the language that the answers should be in. And it's very, very sensitive. If there is noise, it wouldn't really catch the words. So unless you are really, really in a quiet place and have everything ready and helpful, then you can use it. Otherwise, I would recommend to use the type in, where they just type in the answer. I'm going to tap on the pencil to go back to editing. And that's it. Now, if I'll tap here on this upload, it would not tell me upload your game. What it would say update your game. So I'm going to update my game. And in a minute or so, it's going to be updated. I'll just show you one last thing, which you can also do. Okay, now my game is updated. Okay, one last thing that you can also do, I didn't show you. For example, I can go, let's go into Shabbat. Just take, simple background, add activity, next. You also have the option to insert a YouTube into your game and relate to it after or teach something. So you would just play a video and you can search here whatever you want, Shabbat, בילדים. It only searches YouTube, שירי Shabbat, okay. Songs for Shabbat, whatever. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, you can also, when you insert,
listen to the instructions.
When you insert a video, it gives you the option. Hold on. It gives you the option here to choose where you want the video to start. You can just take a part of the video, so you can mark where you want the video to start, in what minute it would start, in what minute it would end. And you can also split.
Boi Shabbat. Boi Shabbat.
Okay. If you tap on the split, it splits the video exactly where you decide. And for example, if it's an informative video, you can use it to ask questions or to learn something after. I'll give you an example of how a video is used in this game.
How to Halacha. Video 1. How to wash your hands in the morning.
Here's how to wash your hands upon waking up in the morning. First, have a large cup filled with water.
Okay, so then you would go to the next page.
Pick up the cup.
And you can create questions. So this is Sammy Morheim. He's an amazing educator. He's the UK manager of Jewish Interactive. And if you teach and use anything to do with Jewish studies, you should follow him. And to follow a person, you just under his name, you tap here to follow. And whenever he creates a game, it would be in your feed area. When you're logged in, it would be in your feed area right here. And if you log in from a desktop, you would see it also on your, you will see, I'll show you how you will see it on the desktop. You will see games by people you follow. I'm going to stop share now. First of all, let's see if you have any questions. Can we listen to children's reading? So if a child creates a game, like it takes a text, for example, let's do this one. Let's say you prepare different texts for children, you take a photo of the text. Let's see if I have a text here. And, okay, here. Let's say I prepare this text for my children and I want them all to now, oh, I'm not even sharing my iPad, hold on. Okay, this is my, let's say I'm a child and I'm going to now, I'm asking my children to create a game because I want to hear them reading, and I prepare a text in advance that I want them to read. Let's see if I have, okay, this text here. Let's say that I prepare this text in advance, I want them to read it. So they would just bring it here from the photo roll, okay? And now they would do add activity, next. Create a soundboard. Oops. Done. Okay, so my app just got stuck. Let's do it again. Add activity next. Create a soundboard, okay. So now the children would need to go, if it's a sentence, they can mark the entire sentence or just the word, tap on the plus and read it. Yag'a. Gamra. And if it's a whole sentence, they can read the entire sentence. And when they press done, you would see it because this is your sub-user who created the game. You would see it as games created, or in the class, you would ask them to create a game like that and you would see it. And you could, if you have like a smart board, you can show the other class and use what they created to show the other class. There is a game, I think it's called Savivon Aksamim Shel Tamar. Here, this one, where you can see a child.
Savivon Aksamim Shel Tamar.
So this is a soundboard, and words are separated, but if you tap here on that icon, it's the entire sentence.
Abba קנה מתנה לתמר.
צריך בחנוכה.
So if children create a game to tell a story, they can insert sentences and just read out the sentences. Stop sharing, 1 second. Okay. How can we create reading from Chaverim Be'Ivrit? If you have the text from Chaverim Be'Ivrit, like you showed me on a Word doc, and you want them to practice reading a text from Chaverim Be'Ivrit, so you need to put it, wait, I'll share my screen again, share screen. Share screen, okay. Okay, let's say you have the text ready. You need to have it on a Google Docs, and to have the app on your iPad, you would just tap the app and you would go to your text. Wait, it's going to open. So I don't know, let's say that this is in באוטובוס, okay? This is, I think, Debbie, you sent me. מבחן בעברית. I'm going to double tap key teachers, although it's very easy to say it, copy. Or copy the entire thing and go here into JITAP. Okay, and quickly create a game for them to study for the test, for example. So if I'll tap here, paste, key teachers. So this was easy because it's in English. It would be much easier for me to actually write by myself by tapping here, but I'll go and get something with Nikud. So you can see, let's say I have a, select all, copy, oops. What have I done? Paste. Select all, copy. Okay, this is my Docs app. I'm going to go into my JITAP app now. Tap here and paste my text, paste. Select paragraph. Okay, so this is how I quickly take a text which is ready, and I have it here. For example, I want them to, let's do an activity next. Create a soundboard. And now I can read it to them and ask them to practice or ask them to create it themselves. אני הולכת לשחק כל יום בחוץ. אני הולכת לשחק כל יום בחוץ. אני משחקת, and just read out the entire thing. Let's see what it, you know, just a soundboard. So,
אני הולכת לשחק כל יום בחוץ. אני משחקת.
Okay, and if you have something like the he teaches that you did, and you want them to translate it into Hebrew from חברים בעברית, so you can say, please type in Hebrew. Okay, this is my instruction, and then you have he teaches. Driver. Different words, you can organize it here, and as many as you want, next. And you can choose top or type, and just create marks here and say, and write the answer. הוא מלמד. הוא מלמד. נהג. Nahag. Okay, done. I'm going to put it first, and this is what it would look like. There is no sound, nothing, because I didn't record any introduction. It just tells me, please type in Hebrew. And I would have to, as a child, who melamed. Nahag. So this is a very nice way for me to practice on my phone, on my computer, on my iPad, on any device, if I want children to get ready for a specific text. You don't use Google Docs. Google Docs is free. It's an amazing app for education, and it's a good way to use Google Docs because you can just use it on your iPad with other apps. But if you don't use Google Docs, you can just take a photo of your text if you want to. Can it be made interactive on the Soundboard? Yes, because if you connect your first of all, on the Soundboard, you have a web browser, so you can play any game on the web browser. You would just go into Google, into jitap.net on the Soundboard, and open the game that kids created in the classroom or that you created and you want to share with the kids. So you would open the game and do it on the Soundboard. And another way is just to take your iPad with an HDMI cord and a connector and connect it to your Soundboard and actually show the children on the iPad how to use the iPad and how to create an app. And I want to tell you, they'll get it in a second. It's going to take them 5 minutes and they'll be able to create games. Did you all register already as pro users and manage to create a group or a class? Okay, great. I think the best thing now is to start try creating games and look at different games created by other teachers and try to figure out how to create a good game for what you need. And I'm going, you know what, I'll share with you a second something that I'll send to you. And this is what I tell all the teachers. So what you need when you create a game is to always begin from your learning objective. What do you want the children to learn? You don't want them to learn חברים בעברית. You want them to learn a specific set of vocabulary. Or you want them to practice and be very familiar with, I don't know, parashat השבוע. So you decide what you want the children to learn. And then think, how will they learn it? What can they do so would give them a great chance of learning what they need to learn. So for example, if it's a certain set of vocabulary, they can create a game using those vocabulary items and, you know, once created by them and designed by them, and they speak and they say the words and they add images, there is no way these words will not be, you know, acquired very thoroughly, and they'll be able to use them in different contexts, not only once. So start always with your learning objective, and then see how the technology, not always the technology can help you, but a lot of times it has a huge potential because kids can, first of all, create by themselves, engage by themselves. It's differentiated, so different kids have different interests and different abilities, and it has a huge potential. And just go through all of these stages, which I'll share with you. You have to consider whether you have Wi-Fi, don't have Wi-Fi, have iPads, how many kids on one iPad. If you have 2 or 3, it's great. And ask yourself all those questions. They have laptops, so they can't create their own games. But do they have iPads at home? Some, okay. So they can play games, and some can create games. The thing is, do you have any iPads in the school that kids can use and create games? In year 1 and 2. Okay, so for year 1 and 2, it's wonderful. You can create games together with them, and each child has a Lenovo. Okay, Lenovo, I don't think it's an iOS. Oh, in year 5 and 6. All right, so years 5 and 6, if they don't have iPads, they cannot create games by themselves. The best thing is to see if you can get funding and get some iPads into the school. We may be able to help with that. I know that Jewish Interactive has incredible, you know, connections with a lot of funding, and we may be able to help with that. I'm going to speak to Hannah and find out more. We would love you or Leah to come here. Well, I'm happy. I've never been to Australia. Unfortunately, I think I won't be there soon. But Liat is definitely back in the summer, and I'm sure she can go into your school and work with you, and we'll have more answers by then, and you'll have more questions. Yes, definitely. We can try book in with her, definitely. Okay, I hope I managed to, make it a little bit more clear. And that's it. It's a pity I couldn't see any of you. But if you have more questions, keep in touch and talk to me, and we can book another webinar, and we can book Liat when she goes to Australia. Okay, you're going to try making some games. Wonderful. And remember, all the tutorials are on YouTube, and all the tutorials are on the app, on the homepage. So it's been great talking to you, and thank you very much, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.